Marty Tribble, and this tutorial is all about malas. I make malas and get lots of questions about them, so I'd like to answer some of those here. First question, what's a mala? Mala is a Sanskrit term that means garland, and just like it sounds, it's a strand of beads, often separated by these little tiny knots that make space for the fingers to slip between, and it's a meditation tool. Another question I'm often asked is, now that I have a mala, how do I use it? You can wear it. I've got one here around my neck. This is an ocean Jasper mala. This is a really great way to keep your intention right with you near your heart throughout the day. You can also wrap it around your wrist. So it's an active reminder of anytime you're reaching out into the world to offer something of yourself, or you're bringing something into your life. It helps you remember your intention. So if you're trying to create a positive habit or break a negative habit, every time you reach out, it's right there. Another great way to use it, and probably the most common way that malas are used, is with Japa Meditation, meaning mantra repetition. You use one mala for one mantra, and if you start a new mantra, you use a different mala and infuse each one with their own individual intention or vibration, so that each mala that you have in your life is used for a particular purpose. First, you choose your mantra. You might already have one. It could be in your own language, or it might be in Sanskrit. So if I was going to use an English mantra, I could choose a simple word like love, or I allow love to integrate into my life. And I would repeat that 108 times, going all the way around. And it could also be a Sanskrit mantra. We'll use Ohm Shanthi as an example. So how I start this process is I place the tassel end inside of my hand, place my thumb in between the first two beads to start counting, and I recite from there my mantra. So we're going to do Om Shanti. So Om Shanti, move my thumb to the next space between Om Shanti, and so on. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. And you can see as I start progressing along, the tassel starts to move down. And I would keep going along until the tassel, we're going to speed this up a little, makes it all the way around to where it's starting to come up the front of my hand now. And as I get to the final bead, known as the guru bead, I pause. And I'm either going to make the choice to end my meditation there because I've completed one full round, or I'm going to begin a second round. Now, if you're beginning a second round, you don't cross over the bead and start again. You actually flip it around so that the guru bead comes around in the hand again. It's part of the meditation tradition that you don't cross over the guru bead. So you would just turn it around, flip it, and start your meditation again. Pretty simple. Another great question is, how do I take care of my mala? You want to think of your mala as a sacred object. Not that it's something that you're going to worship or think that has power over you, but instead it's something that symbolizes your intention. You're infusing your intention into this object so that you can carry that intention with you everywhere, and it gives you a conscious physical reminder. Oftentimes we can set intentions and forget about them because they're out of sight, out of mind. But the mala helps bring it out into the world where we can see it physically, and we have a constant physical reminder of the mala touching our skin, touching our body. Because of the sacred nature of this object, we don't want to just toss it around. So don't chuck it in the bottom of your purse when you're not using it. When you're not wearing your mala or not using it in meditation practice, place it somewhere where it'll be safe and protected. I like to place mine on my altar at home. My altar is just a collection of objects that, again, help remind me of my intention in the world. And so I'll store it there and pick it up when I'm ready to wear it or use it for mantra repetition. You also don't want to leave your mala laying out in the sunlight for a couple of different reasons. The sun can easily bleach and start to break down the materials that your mala is made of. The color of the thread and also the color of some types of stones can fade in the sunlight, and also creates a quicker breakdown process of those materials. You don't want to wear it in the shower for the same reason, also that it'll start creating a stretch in your thread prematurely. The string's going to stretch at some point anyways because you're wearing a lot or you're using it with mantra repetition, but it'll help create a longer life for your mala. So then there's a question of why 108 beads? And there's a lot of different answers for this. Some of it has to do with tradition, some is mathematics, some is spiritual practices, and even really unique details that are outlined in chemistry and from measurements regarding the sun and moon. So I'm actually going to link a website, swamij.com. Swami J is a wonderful scholar and has an amazing library of information. I'd recommend perusing his whole site. But that link is directly below this YouTube video in the information section. So go there and read. It's delightful and informative. So another great question is, why do I make malas? It's kind of a multifaceted answer. I think a big piece of it is the artistic side of things. There's really an endless array of creativity with the colors that you can combine and the different stone sizes and the guru beads and the intentions that you can put into it. It's like an empty canvas each time that you come into the creation process. And it's such a meditation, sitting and tying 108 knots, putting on bead by bead. I think the other big piece of this for me is the materials that I use. Although most malas are made from different types of wood or special seeds, I use the gemstones because they've kind of always called to me. Even as a young child, I was pretty obsessed with rocks. I would pick them up from the family driveway or going on walks, finding river stones or stones by lakes. Every time I would go somewhere, and that really hasn't changed, I'd come home with rocks in my pockets, and I still do. I have them all around my house. They have a grounding, soothing, comforting quality for me, so I infuse that into my malas as well. And the other piece of this is being able to put into someone's hand something that represents love and comfort for me, to be able to share that out into the world. There's only so many ways that we can find to express our heart out into the world, and these malas are one wonderful way that I can do that. It's not just a nice piece of joy, it's not just a meditation tool, but I'm able to say, I love you through this piece, and that intention is felt. I know it is. I get the emails back from people saying every time this mala touches my body, I can feel sometimes they'll say craftsmanship or the quality in it. And I think what they're really trying to say is the intention and the love that's put into these malas translates through, and it can be felt. And that in itself is really healing and really powerful, and makes me pretty happy. I would say the biggest influencing factor that motivated me to start making malas was that I was in search of a mala. And I looked for many years in many places, including throughout India when I was traveling there. Went online to every online source that I could find, looked in gift shops, and that one mala that resonated with me, I didn't find it there. I ended up making it. Looked at YouTube videos and different examples of designs and came up with something that I felt I could be really proud of and could share into the world confidently, knowing that there's nothing quite like it. So there you have it, Mala 101. Hopefully the information was helpful and guides you toward finding a mala that really resonates with you, or putting to use the one that you already have. Feel free to contact me at martytribble.com with any other questions you might have, and while you're there, browse the East store. Maybe you'll find a mala that you like, or we can work together to create one that really fits where you are in your life.